May I tell you, the worst in African continent is West Africa. But Ghana is trying gradually. That is why every Ghanaian must hold on to the peace that God has given you in this nation. Nigeria is the worst nation. I am saying it because I know what I'm saying. When you appoint a leader that is dull, everybody in that nation will look as if they are dull. But Nigerians are brilliant people. In all the university in America, Nigeria, they are top notch. But their leader, they are dull. No brain of businesses, no brain of future, no brain of infrastructure, no brain of raising people. But they have only brain to steal money. And that's why you see Nigerians everywhere and nobody wants to see green passport again. I pray one day that the whole nation will say they don't want Nigeria again. You know why? That prayer God will answer it so that Nigerians will go back home. Necessity is the mother of invention. So that they will think.
Congratulations to the giants of Africa. Congratulations to Nigerians. You have succeeded in washing your dirty linings out there. This is not about you telling people not to go on social media and criticize the country because you don't want the image of the country to be better, because you don't want the country to be painted in a bad light. The truth about it is you cannot hide a bad character. It exposes, it smells so bad. Everyone around Africa, they sees you for who you are, they know who you are, and they know that Nigeria as a country has gone way beyond what it's been known for. Nigeria was known as the big brother of Africa. Nigeria was known as the giant of Africa. Today, that acronym that was given to Nigeria has been eroded. Nobody regards you as the giant of Africa anymore. Nobody regards you as the big brother of Africa anymore. They regard you as a 200 million persons that are senseless, that are not intelligent. That is how African countries regard you. That man there is saying the bare truth. There is absolutely nothing he said that is lie. Everything he said there is the true fact, and that is what we are going to prove in this video. Before I start, I would like to ask a very important question. How did the people that want to take over power for President Goodluck Jonathan convince you all that President Muhammadu Buhari was a better candidate than President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan? It can be confusing to compare those that have not held political power at the national level. I mean, those that have not been president or head of state, to comparing those that have held political power at the national level. For instance, it's confusing comparing Peter Obi and Bola Ahmed Tinubu, though they've held executive power, but it was at the state level. A lot of people say that the state level is different from the national level. But when it comes to Goodluck Ebele Jonathan and President Muhammadu Buhari, these two, they've held executive power at the national level. President Muhammadu Buhari was the head of state in Nigeria, and President Goodluck at that time was the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Their achievements speak for them. The record was there. Now, President Goodluck Jonathan was overseeing the largest economy in Africa. During his time as president, Nigeria rose to become the third fastest growing economy in the world, alongside India, China, Dubai. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari, on the other hand, when he was the head of state, he saw to what we call rising inflation in the country. There was scarcity of food and people could barely eat. The record were there. People brought this out and warned Nigerians about this man. How were you all convinced that President Muhammadu Buhari is a better candidate to President Goodluck Jonathan? Goodluck Jonathan is an intellectual, a PhD holder, a leader, an empathetic leader, a listening president, that his cabinet were made up of intellectuals. Of course, you have people like Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, former World Bank president. You have the intellectual like Akinwumi Adesina, an erudite scholar that revolutionized our agricultural sector. You have someone like Bart Naj, a professor in geometric science. I mean, Bart Naju was already working to ensure that Nigeria has stable power supply with his geometric power plant that he installed in Abia State. There were many other vibrant and sound minds in the cabinet of President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. How did you all end up voting out a man that is empathetic, that is listening, that listened to Nigerians when they went to the streets to protest against fuel subsidy, to voting in somebody that is not empathetic, that does not even care about Nigerians, someone that ordered the military to shoot at unarmed civilians that were protesting against police brutality. Till date, no one has been held responsible for that gruesome murder. How were you all convinced that President Muhammadu Buhari was the best president for you? I mean, President Muhammadu Buhari led Nigeria into 3 recessions, 3 good recessions. How were you all convinced? I mean, what part of your brain were you reasoning with when you left Goodluck Jonathan and voted for President Muhammadu Buhari? 8 years of colossal failure, 8 years of wastage. How did you end up handing your future over to someone that could not even multiply his cows? Nigerians, how? You finished with President Muhammadu Buhari and you ended up with Bola Ahmed Tinubu, a man with so much baggage, a man that is alleged to have forged his qualification, a man that is alleged to have no birth certificate, no history, a man that was accused of drug trafficking in United States. How did you end up making this mistake in succession? Like how? Don't you have brains to think, Nigerians? How do you end up putting people who are not intelligent in office to oversee the affairs of 200 million persons? You vote in people that have no ideas about governance. You vote in people that don't care about you. You vote in people that have no investment plan. You vote in people that have no future plan for the country. You vote in people who all they care is about enriching their cronies. All they care is about looting the treasury dry. And you turn around to complain of hardship in the country. Why wouldn't there be hardship in the country? When you fail to be wise, when you keep making the same mistake over and over again, at least the 8 years of President Muhammadu Buhari should have taught you all a lesson, but yet you are still making the same mistake. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has clocked 1 year in office. Go and check his scorecard. He has successfully increased the inflation in this country. He has successfully increased the insecurity in this country. He has successfully increased the hardship in this country. Nigerians are going through the most excruciating pains in their life because they don't want to vote in people that care about them. They don't want to vote in people that will fix this country. Rather than working to better the lot of the people, Tinubu is busy blaming a past administration. Whatever Nigeria is facing today, whatever economic hardship we are going through today, the inflation, everything is caused by the lack of effective leadership and policies of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. All the policies he has turned out so far, they all turn out to be anti-people policies. All the policies he has put out so far, these are trial and error policies. It shows that these people are not ready for governance. They just wanted to take over power. Of course, Kayode Fayemi, the former governor of Ekiti State, has come out to say in 2015, the protest of 2012 was not because the removal of first subsidy was not good. All they wanted to do was to sabotage the economy so Nigerians can vote for them. They wanted to take over power. They've had the power. What did they do with that power? Securing power is not the main thing, but what do you do with the power you secure? Whether you snatch it or not, what are you able to achieve with that power? They've succeeded in destroying the largest economy in Africa. They've succeeded in destroying the third fastest growing economy in the world. Nigeria today is worse off than it were in 2015. These were the people that promised you change. They promised you progress. They promised to take you from one level to the other. But they succeeded in taking you back anti-clockwise times 20. All this thing boils to the fact that you Nigerians cannot elect credible leaders. Don't tell me anything about INEC and the judiciary. The reason why INEC and the judiciary are doing what they are doing is because you gave them the power to do so. You permitted it, you allowed them. Another thing he spoke about is that Nigerians should be deported from wherever they are. I think that is a valid thing to do. Let every Nigerians be deported because Nigerians are people that learn to adapt to any situation. Let me give you an instance. Tomato is costly. People are now using cucumber to cook. They love to adapt rather than reacting to the situation. The ability to jump out of this country is what has led this country where it is. I'm not hating on anybody, but for the fact that rather than people holding their government accountable to fix their economy, to give them good governance, they would decide to jump out and run to a country, another man's country that was built by them. The UK, the US, the Schengen nation that you are traveling to was built by the citizens of that country. The citizens of that country, they elected good leaders. leaders and they hold their leaders accountable. They hold grudges against any politician that did not perform, any political party that failed to deliver. They hold grudges against them for a very long time. But here in Nigeria, you reward fair politicians and fair political parties. If not, what is APC still doing at the helm of affairs of the leadership in this country? You are leaving your own country to run to their country. When they fix their country, why not fix your own country? There is no place like home. You can do more better in your home than outside if you work to fix your country. There was French Revolution. It was not carried out by politicians. It was carried out by the French citizens. There is Arab Spring that you are all hearing about. It was not carried out by the politicians. It was carried out by the citizens of the Arab nation against their corrupt politicians. And what did they do? They toppled and dethroned corrupt politicians. Look at what happened in Egypt. They toppled a Muslim president. Today, Egypt is far ahead of Nigeria in terms of economy. You are running to another man's country, leaving your own country to decay. Come back home. If it is possible, they should deport every Nigerians wherever they are. They should come back home and face the rot in this country. That is the only time that people will learn to realize to do the right thing. Election was rigged. Police brutality, insecurity, inflation, bad government policies. Rather than protesting, hitting the streets to bring the government to order, holding your representative in the National Assembly accountable, all they will care to do is to process their visa to japa out of the country. Where are you jappering to? You are going to another man's country that was built by the blood and sweat of the citizens in that country. And most of them are boldly coming on social media and telling people, leave that shithole of a country. They will come on social media and tell you to leave Nigeria because they've succeeded in living, whereas they should be in this country, working out their ass to ensure that they leave a better legacy for their kids. And I want to tell every one of you listening to me, if you're young folks in your early 30s and 40s, you fail your unborn children. You fail your generations to come after you. You fail them because your forefathers, they fought the military, they fought colonialism, they ensured that they gave you a stable economy. In the 1980s, the minimum wage was $208. They gave it to you. They gave you democracy. Most of the things you are enjoying today, the electricity you are enjoying today, they can't dam, the refinery, they built it for you. What have you done? What have you done with all your enlightenment, with all your exposure, with all your awareness? What have you done? You are busy being a social media warlord. You've done absolutely nothing. You've succeeded in destroying this country. You've succeeded in taking this country 20 years backwards. You are solely responsible for the rot in this country. Leave politicians alone, because the politicians that are doing this thing, they are not up to 1% of the population in this country. You allow them to destroy this country, and you all are to be held responsible. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.